Now, like many of you, I've experienced the trauma of abusive relationships. And the type of abuse that we're talking about is narcissistic abuse. And the type of trauma that we're referring to is the trauma of narcissistic rage. It's the trauma of devaluation. It's the trauma of being discarded. And these are just the clinical terms, by the way. It doesn't even really begin to express what it really feels like. Because the real trauma is in that of being rejected. The real trauma is in that of betrayal. The real trauma is in that of the hostility and the violence that you have endured, mentally, emotionally, or even physically. And it's from this trauma that we are all on this healing journey together. And I've shared my healing journey with you. I've moved 5 states away to get away from the toxic environment that I once was in. And on my healing journey, I've shared with you how I've pushed myself, how I've been processing things. I've even rappelled down a 19-story building to face my fears, all in effort to bring healing because of the traumatic experience of narcissistic abuse. And all of that leads to this one thing that we're going to talk about right now, which is reconciliation. It's the one thing that we avoid talking about in all of this forum of narcissistic abuse, all of the YouTube videos. We all avoid this one conversation, and that is the need to be reconciled, the need to restore the broken relationship, the relationship that's been destroyed. The key to success and healing is restoring it, is reconciliation. And many of you right now are going to say, that's impossible. I'm not here to reconcile, Kevin. But I'm here to tell you right now, it's not impossible. And you need to listen. All right? Now, before we get into reconciliation and what it looks like and how you're going to do it, we need to first have an understanding of forgiveness. You have to first be at a place of forgiveness. Now let's talk about forgiveness, because forgiveness and reconciliation are 2 completely different things. Forgiveness is not having coffee dates and hanging out and watching movies with somebody who you don't need to be with. That's not forgiveness. What does forgiveness look like? Forgiveness looks like this. It looks like you not wishing any ill will or punishment or revenge on anybody who has hurt you in your life. That's all forgiveness is. That's it. It's not coffee dates, play dates, hanging out, watching movies. That's not forgiveness. That's something different, okay? Forgiveness is just you not wishing ill will. The Bible, for those of you who are believers, for those of you who have faith, the Bible says this about forgiveness: forgive others as God has forgiven you. So think about this for a minute. How has God forgiven you? Well, the Almighty, who has the power of life and death, is allowing you to walk, no matter what disgusting things you've done in your life. That's all forgiveness is. Live and let live. So you have to understand this first and foremost. And when you reach a place of forgiveness, meaning you're not trying to exact revenge on somebody who's hurt you, which, by the way, is a complete waste of time. You're wasting your life away if you're thinking about getting revenge. You're keeping yourself in the pocket and in the prison of toxicity, okay? So get yourself first to a place where you understand forgiveness, and then now we can talk about reconciliation. The reconciliation, the restoration of the broken relationship. No, it's not impossible. It's very possible. Not only is it possible, but it's key. And here's what we're going to do together, because I know you need help through this, just like I did. On the count of 3, together, you and I are going to say the name out loud of the person we need to be reconciled to. We're going to say the name out loud. So I want you to get it right here in your mind. We're going to say the name out loud of the relationship that's been broken and needs to be restored. Are you ready? I know this might sound painful, but we're going to do it. Here we go. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Kevin. Now wait. I want to know how many of you said the wrong name. How many of you just said the name of somebody else who you've been trying to get away from? Listen, this message about reconciliation is not about reconciling with somebody else. It's not about reconciling with a narcissist. Are you kidding me? If you said the name of the narcissist, you erred big time. How can you ever reconcile with a person that you were never meant to be with? How can light be reconciled with darkness? How can you ever be reconciled with evil? Listen, narcissistic abuse is the result of being with people you have no business being with, doing things you have no business doing, going places you have no business going. To that, there is no reconciliation, not now, not ever. It doesn't matter if it was your family or your friends or an ex-spouse or whoever it was in your life that was damaging and was hostile and aggressive. There will never be reconciliation with that. This message isn't about reconciling with another person. By now you should know what I'm talking about is reconciling with yourself. You see, when you come out of narcissistic abuse, you come out broken or divided into two different people. The person you once were and the person who has been squashed because of narcissistic abuse, the person who is damaged. And part of what we do subconsciously or unconsciously, if you will, is we separate ourselves from that person that was damaged. We turn our back on that person. We look at that person who came out of narcissistic abuse as weak, as not able to have any boundaries, as hurt, as destroyed. We distance ourselves from that broken person. But I'm here to tell you right now that that person, that side of you that has been beat down and destroyed and broken, that's the side of you that holds the keys to your healing success. That's the person that has all the strength. That's the person that has the battle scars. That's the person that knows what abuse looks like. That's the person you need on your team. That's the person you need to reconcile with. You need to grab that person. You need to bring that person back into your life, because that's the person that's going to protect you. That's the person that's going to strengthen you. That's the reconciliation that we need. Listen, I started to write a letter, and I encourage you to do the same thing. We're going to write a letter of reconciliation. And this letter is going to be addressed to yourself. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to yourself. Now, I started this letter, but I didn't finish it. And you're going to say this: Self, Kevin, I regret what was done, and I promise to be better at protecting what we have. Because you are the one I need in my life. You are worthy of all my love, protection, and respect. It's you, Kevin, who I will honor the rest of my days. This is what it looks like when you're able to reconcile with yourself. So whatever you have to do, write yourself a letter. Whatever it looks like, do it. Begin the reconciliation process. It's the key to your healing journey. Listen, I want to be a part of your healing journey as well. Down below in the description box, you'll find access to my calendar where you can schedule some one-on-one time with me. Telephone calls, FaceTime, WhatsApp, video calls. It's all available down below, so head on down there. All right? And also follow me on Instagram at JoinTheRoyalWe, and I'll be back with more videos for you right here on The Royal We.